All right, let's get to the big story of the day. We could see a cabinet reshuffle as early as tomorrow evening. As per Newswire reports, this would be the first expansion after the win of the BJP government, the NDA government, consecutively in 2019. And the speculations are wide and ranging on who's going to get in, who's going to get out. So through the course of this show, we're going to tell you some names which are being widely reported, but frankly, nobody can say for sure what is going to happen in the next 24 hours. What we do know is that certain leaders are making their way to the capital and have got the all-important call, presumably, which is why they've cut short their various engagements and are rushing to Delhi. Jyotiraditya Scindia is one of them. Sarbananda Sonowal is another one. So one can assume that perhaps they're making it to the all-important list. But what we're going to talk about today is more the context, the factors, the timing, and why this reshuffle is important. And to help us do that today, I'm joined by Neerja Chowdhury, Manisha Priyam, and Tejas Mehta, all political analysts who will take us through what is going on. Manisha Priyam, let me begin with your take. Why so much excitement about this cabinet reshuffle, or the expansion really of Council of Ministers? Is there a hope that fresher, newer kind of faces will be inducted, which is why so much buzz about technocrats presumably coming in?
I think more than the buzz about the technocrats, obviously it makes a buzz if you've got technical people coming in. I think one signature imprimatur of the Modi government, of the Modi cabinets, has been that he's had an eye on state elections. The all-important Uttar Pradesh state election is the most important thing that people are looking out to. Obviously, Jyotiraditya Scindia, obviously Sarbananda Sonowal. But remember, both these names are names that have played important roles in state elections or state governments. In the formation of the BJP government in Madhya Pradesh, an election that went tie with the Congress party and the Congress inched ahead making the government, it was Jyotiraditya Scindia who helped the BJP come back to power. Sarbananda Sonowal, similarly in Assam, notwithstanding the setbacks on the CAA, notwithstanding differences with a tall leader such as Hemanta Biswa Sarma, I think happened in a very, very smooth manner. So these two being rewarded, but most important, what's cooking up for Uttar Pradesh? How is the caste equation, especially for the lower caste in the eastern parts of Uttar Pradesh? The Sanjay Nishad party, the Patel voters, and the Apna Dal, and also the fact that Om Prakash Rajbar is not seemingly towing the line of the BJP at this point of time. Those difficult equations, the mergers and acquisitions, but along with that, the difficult equation in Western Uttar Pradesh, where we've not had a leader in the cabinet who's been able to steer and break ice with the farmers' movement or with the very important Jat community. So the difficult political questions for the upcoming polls in Uttar Pradesh, and of course, as you said, the tech ministers for the very important ministries of health, for agriculture, and for education. I think these are the three that one would look out for. So yes, state elections and tech and newer faces, that's going to be the anticipation for the cabinet reshuffle.
Neerja Chowdhury, is this also going to be sort of a performance indicator? Would it also be seen key ministries being replaced? Because let's look at the context in which this cabinet reshuffle is taking place. It's taking place in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, which hit India hard in the first wave and the second wave. It remains to be seen what will happen in the third wave. Lives have been lost, livelihoods have been lost as well, and the government is perhaps feeling the heat on this. Will this also be an effort to show that yes, we are changing people to bring in more dynamism to some of these key areas?
I think without doubt. And the fact that the Prime Minister went into it in great detail, department-wise, studying who'd done well and who'd not done well. You know, hours have gone into it. It's a very interesting exercise before the cabinet taking place. Normally, we've had Prime Ministers with the Principal Secretary or one or two colleagues working out who's coming in and who's going in and send their list to Rashtrapati Bhavan. Very rarely have this kind of a very detailed exercise preceded a cabinet reshuffle. But, you know, you're right. It is going to be, this is taking place virtually halfway into that term, point number one. It'll probably show course correction. And it's taking place, as you said, against the background of huge challenges. The economy slowing down, livelihoods lost, petrol prices going beyond 100 rupees, the mishandling on the COVID front during the second wave. And clearly, economy and health are going to be the major themes in the coming weeks and months. Therefore, they will have to show a more purposeful government. Now, I suspect, this talk of bringing in the professionals is part of that, addressing that concern. And it's possible a couple of professionals, technocrats may be brought in. They may also rope in those who've had experience before. So if a Sarbananda Sonowal is coming in, he's been a chief minister for 5 years. Will they bring in Sushil Modi, also a long time deputy chief minister with huge experience? Jyotiraditya Scindia, of course, also with experience of being in the Union of India government and during Manmohan Singh's time. So while they also, there's promises made to them that they will be brought in, there is this aspect of governance also to address. The second thing is what Manisha was saying. The second concern, and I would say consideration for the cabinet reshuffle, will be they have their eyes on 2022, the elections that are due next year. And UP is the most important. And we must not forget, if they lose ground in Uttar Pradesh, they will lose steam for 2024. UP is absolutely critical. So those elections, they will have their eyes also on 2023, the Hindi heartland elections of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and so on. And then, of course, 2024. So their political representation and who they give what signals they send out is going to be very important. I think women is going to be one category, because we've learned that women have emerged as a vote bank. Nitish Kumar won because of women vote. Hemanta Biswa Sharma did well because of women vote. So I think the BJP can be expected to reach out more vigorously to the women voter. And will they give a sign by inducting more women? There are the names of Rita Bahuguna Joshi, Anupriya Patel, Hina Gavit, and some others also. So also young people, will they bring in young people and give them, groom a new lot of leaders, giving them Minister of State status, Dalits, tribals, who voted for Modi in 2014 and 2019, but have moved away, have been very unhappy, partly because of COVID, partly because of the economic hardship. So I think those are going to be and then one other thing will be the Narendra Modi and his colleagues are looking afresh at the value of alliances. In the last couple of years, they have been unmindful of the sensibilities of allies. So Shiv Sena left, Akali Dal left, their oldest allies left. But they're reaching out once again to the allies because they feel the need for them. And I think much will depend on, how they sort out the current differences with Janata Dal U. And how many cabinet berths are given to him. So all in all, I think it is a midterm
so 3 or 4
exercise.
Yes. So a midterm stock-taking exercise has to look at a number of factors, Tejas, and some have been discussed already by Manisha and Neerja ji. But if I can add to this, whether there will be a larger role for some of these new ministers who will come in. Now, the Modi government is known as one where there is a lot of centralization of decision making. A lot of decision making and governance flows from the Prime Minister's office. And some of the names being talked about today are strong political personalities in their own right. So do you think there will be departure in that sense as well from the way the government has been functioning?
Who are you asking? Hello?
This
Who
is
are you
Tejas.
asking? Yeah, okay.
But I don't know if Tejas can hear me. You're on mute, Tejas. You need to unmute yourself, please. All right, while we try and get Tejas to figure out how to unmute and answer that question, I want to take it across to Manisha Priyam, because I think it's important to see what this government now looks like with some of these very key, regional leaders coming in who have been powerful players in their own right in their home states, whether it's a Sarbananda Sonowal or a Sushil Modi or a Jyotiraditya Scindia for that matter.
Well, if these leaders come in, then Mr. Modi would have created now a federation of states within his own political ambit. Remember, Sushil Modi is a stalwart of Bihar politics, one of the oldest BJP politicians, I would say, in the state level arena, has been a finance minister, steered critical for finance minister in Bihar and the deputy chief minister, has been a part of the GST consultation processes and put that in place. Sarbananda Sonowal, similarly, an old hand, tried and tested man, ran Assam very well, political differences, but the handling of Northeast has been critical under him. The expansion, the look east policy of Mr. Modi, very, very critical. And Jyotiraditya Scindia, of course, giving to BJP that critical state of Madhya Pradesh, where despite the fact that Shivraj Singh Chauhan had been a very popular chief minister, referred to as Mama, that women's vote bank that you spoke about, prior to Nitish Kumar, it was Shivraj Singh Chauhan who mastered the art of turning women into a loyal vote bank for his popular and welfare schemes, the Ladli Lakshmi schemes, etc. A lot of schemes where he directly connected with women. So in a sense, I would say that this would bring in a lot of experience from state politics, absolutely within the arena of the cabinet. Sarbananda Sonowal and Sushil Kumar Modi, especially, having practiced and perfected the art at state level governance. So these would be mature people, even in governance, but also mature in handling state level politics. So I would say this would be a mixture of state level experience and governance, and these two together would yield benefits to the Modi cabinet for governance as well as politics as it moves towards the 2024 elections. So yes, governance, but yes, also to state politics, which matters so much when elections have to be fought. And Mr. Modi's 2019 performance has been spectacular. If that has to be maintained or bettered, definitely state level representation is the key to that.
Okay, perhaps that's the effort that's being made. I believe we have Tejas back on. Tejas, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Tejas, you're a late entry to this council that we have today, but we definitely want you as a part of it. So tell us, what do you think about this whole exercise that we may see as early as tomorrow? Why is it the big talking point? Why does it matter?
Yeah, very quickly, of course, 2024 is the big target. Before that, you need to have UP. And this would generally have happened in a term you would have seen about between the third and the fourth year. It has happened just after the second year. So this is quite early in the entire term, second term of Mr. Modi. So of course, it's targeting the Uttar Pradesh election, as two of the panelists have pointed out. But of course, I'm really happy with the younger crowd really coming in. That's extremely important after COVID-19. I think it's important. Yes, we do know that this is number one, number two government where it's very centralized. But yes, I mean, given a choice, we have seen how Nitin Gadkari has performed quite honestly well. Others also have been given a chance. So Jyotiraditya Scindia, many others who could be probably entering the government have a great opportunity to perform here. And the economy is in such a terrible shape that they will need people who can perform. I think that is going to be the key focus for me, at least. Yes, UP is important, politics is important. But once all of the regional balancing is done, especially after the impact of COVID, a lot of regional balancing had to be done, because the impact of the COVID, the lockdowns and the pandemic, especially on the lower strata, different communities, was very different, and therefore they had to do that rejig in the cabinet. So once that representation is done, those who came from other parties, they are rewarded. Mrs. Sarbananda Sonowal, who gave up being a chief minister, which I would think is a much bigger trophy for him than being a minister at the center. He gave that up. So all that reward is done. The politics is over. I think the economy has to be the key focus, and hopefully Mr. Modi will get these key performers, because unless the entire government is working in tandem and working really well and working really hard, we are going in for a very, very tough phase.
Yeah, so I mean, you're talking about economy, the key economy ministries by all accounts are unlikely to be touched right now. But the one thing you can say for sure with the Modi government is that you can't really guess what's going to happen next. So be ready for surprises and possibly a new set of names that no one even thought about tomorrow coming in as well. So we'll wait and watch in this space. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us with the first discussion this evening on the India development debate.